Grand Rising, or Grand Evening, whatever time it is for you. So, if you're someone who carries and embodies the energy of divinity, there might be some really interesting experiences that you've had with others, with individuals who have either sacrificed their own divinity or are disconnected and fractured from their own divinity. Now, what does that mean to be disconnected or fractured from divinity? What it means is that you are disconnected and fractured from the truth of your being, and God is truth. And so if you're someone who is deeply connected to truth, to God, to source, and you know thyself, and you stand in your authenticity, and you exude that energy, you've probably experienced some really odd things from others who are not, that don't really make logical sense. They don't really make emotional sense either. I'm going to mention what a few of those things might be that you may have experienced, and why this anomaly situations might show up in your experience, and why it isn't personal, although it can have some very personal and harmful effects on your external reality. Now, as someone who is divine and who is connected to the energy of truth, the energy of awareness, the energy of expansion, you may have come in contact or even been targeted by individuals who say that they hate you. They can't stand you. They say really nasty things behind your back, but they watch everything you do. Anything you post, any move you make, any word you speak, they watch, they obsess, they analyze, they pick you apart, looking for anything they can weaponize, reverse engineer, or manipulate to distort who you are and the truth of your being, your energy, or your essence. Or they might, because I know for me, or anyone who is, is divine, who's carrying that energy, when we, and I guess there isn't really anyone that I hate or dislike. They're just people I feel indifference to. They're people that I categorize, and this is the only time I do categorize people, are safe people, and then there are unsafe people. And where people fit in those categories are directly based off of their actions, behaviors, and patterns that I've observed and that I've been directly affected by, right? So, when it comes to individuals who I feel indifference towards, I don't watch them. I don't observe them. I don't go out of my way to monitor or track what they're doing. And so it used to be really confusing to me, because I'd have people that clearly didn't like me. Like, me breathing just was an assault to them, but they just needed to keep me around, and they needed to control me. They needed to watch me. They needed to hack me, to surveil me, to, watch my every move. But these are individuals who, never to my face, but behind, in the background, were saying horrible things about me. And you would think if someone truly feels that way about another person, that they would just not be in that person's experience or space, So this is where cognitive dissonance becomes a thing, because if someone's saying, all these horrible things about someone, but then they're going out of their way to stalk and watch and obsessively monitor that same individual that they've said that they don't like, and that, you know, they've said these horrible things, then that's when behaviors not matching the words, the actions and the words are not aligning. And so there's clearly a disillusionment that's occurring there. I want to talk about what that is, what that actually is, because as someone, you know, who exudes that authenticity, and what I've observed in other people who also stand in their authenticity, is there's a pattern of these types of individuals seeking us out, observing, watching. It even happens here, you know, on TikTok. I think there's like 30 to 50 people that will, whether I post or not, will, you know, come and check my profile here on TikTok. They do not follow me. They will not like anything, but they check every day. You know, they stand on top of anything and everything I'm doing. And it's interesting. It's this interesting phenomenon that divine beings deal with. So what that truly is that those individuals that are targeting and watching you only to break you down, only to have fuel to tear apart and remeld and manipulate. And what it is, it's not personal. It really isn't, because these same individuals can rip everything away from you in the physical, and you can live behind a dumpster. But if you exude this divine energy, I guarantee you they will still hold this energy of envy, of jealousy, and obsession towards you, because it is your divinity. So if you think as within, so without. If someone has sacrificed or fractured and disconnected from their own truth, from their own divinity, then naturally, when they look outside of themselves, they're going to have an impulse to sacrifice and disconnect anyone outside of themselves who embodies the very thing that they sacrificed and disconnected from inside of their self. The way that people exist in the world, the things that they do and their behaviors, is a really good indication of, it's a really good reflection of their internal world. So someone who's attacking someone who holds that light, who holds that divinity, they probably have attacked, sacrificed, and disconnected from their own divinity. And so when they look outside of themselves and they see that truth, they see that divinity, they see that light, they are going to impulsively want to reenact what they've done inside, within, externally on that person. And because people who have disconnected from their own internal divinity, there's no depth there, they're going to think that it's something surface level, like it's just the way that person looks, or the way that they speak, or that person thinks they're better. No, it's not. At a subconscious level, even people who have disconnected from their own divinity, who have, well, maybe not people who have sacrificed their divinity, but people who are fractured or disconnected from it, subconsciously, they want truth. They want God. We are conscious beings. They are hungry for the very thing that they have disconnected from and sacrificed inside of themselves. So when they see you, and because they can't go within, and their entire reality exists in the external, you become the obsession. You become the focal point. They want to pick you apart because they want your divinity. They're hungry for it. Anyways, just something I was thinking about. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I'm sending you all so much love to the universe and beyond. Bye.